Each week, we get a chance to chat with Alamogordo Tigers head football coach A.J. Cisco, and I know he likes coming in here much more when it's after a victory than after a defeat.
It is a lot better after a victory on Friday.
For sure. First off, Coach, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Happy to have you here and get to be at home this week and, off of a solid victory. I was, talking about in the post game that, I don't think you would certainly say you guys played great, but you didn't turn the ball over. You didn't hit penalties in bad times. The guys did what they needed to do.
They did, and I couldn't be prouder of that group of kids and our coaches in how we handled that situation and the first game of the year, especially coming off the last year, and trying to bottle everything together and get going. And the kind of the circumstances we've been through with not having a field, we're just on a grass pasture basically. So it's I was proud of the kids. I don't think we played as well as we could have. And that's something that we told our kids immediately. We have to get better. And I thought we left a lot of plays out there on the field that could have been made, and especially offensively. We had way too many 3-and-outs, not sustaining drives. When we did sustain drives, we put points on the board. And like one of our goals is 100% red zone efficiency. We hit that, score 4 touchdowns, hit that. Really proud of our defense for how they played. And I spoke with you about it, and those guys will run to the ball. They will get there, and there's a lot of gold pants running around everywhere last week. And taking care of the football, getting after it, playing good defense, forcing punts. It was an all-around good game for us, but we still got to get better, especially with the people we got coming up on our schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly gets tougher as you're, but I mean, take nothing away from Deming. That's a good football team, and it was a close game. You figure at halftime they had 2 chances to score, probably take the lead before halftime, and then get the ball to begin the second half, and you guys were able to stop them, and then you stopped them to start the second half and ended up, winning that third quarter, which basically won you the game.
Yeah, when we got a big stop right before halftime, and that was huge. Then we had to get a stop right coming out of halftime. Got a stop, got the ball back, went down, scored. Got another stop, went down, scored, made it 29-8 going into the fourth quarter, and that was kind of it. They're not built to come back and score a bunch of points in a hurry. They're not they don't go tempo real fast, and they huddle and got around, and they understood the situation. They started putting some young kids in, getting reps, and we did too on their last touchdown drive. We got a bunch of young kids in that we're going to need down the road to have some varsity experience. Don't like giving up the touchdown at the end, but that's what I told our coaches. Like, hey, we understand those kids got to play, and we need them down the road. It's not okay to give up touchdowns. So let's not just say that we said that one was okay. So very, very pleased with everybody. Very pleased with coaches, players, attitudes, and the crowd that traveled was pretty good. It's always good to beat Deming. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it had. I think it was 6 times in a row that Deming had beat Alamogordo. So, regardless, it's 1-0, and that's where you guys want to be. And, yeah, you had talked about in the weeks leading up to the start of the season of how much you liked your defense and the things that they do. And, I think it's also positive that you can exchange number of guys in and out. Like on that defensive line, I probably called 5 or 6 different names throughout the night. So, I mean, there's a lot of different guys that contribute and make a difference.
We do. We have a bunch of guys, and we don't want to say they're necessarily going both ways, but they're going to play on both sides of the ball. And then that's kind of we don't have as much depth as we normally have, but we got a bunch of guys that can play on both sides of the ball and getting them rest and getting them off the field, getting them on the field. We got to do a better job of taking care of our bodies so we don't have the cramps that hit us in the fourth quarter last week, and that was addressed to our kids real fast. But like I said, we got a lot of depth of quality kids that can play on both sides of the ball. We just don't have the depth of just the number of bodies that we have.
And offensively, I mean, you guys really didn't try to throw the ball too much. I'm sure you would like a little bit better on the passing game going forward. But the running game, obviously, Nate was good. Bryson was good. Jaden had a good game. Nathaniel played well. So you got, 4 or 5 different guys that got involved in the running game and didn't really have to pass it that much at the end of the day.
No, we didn't. We did take a couple of shots that we probably should have hit, and Bess knows that he needs to hit those shots. And we're not trying to fool anybody. We know who we are, and everybody else knows who we are, and we did a good job. We got to get better up front of sustaining blocks. There's a couple of times that we probably are about to break one for 60 or 70, and then we get cross-faced, and the guy makes a play on us, and it's a 3-yard gain. So that was something that was addressed with our old lineman up front. Best is going to get better at throwing the football, and we're taking those shots down the field. And that's one of those things. We go for that first 3 and out to open the game, look at the iPad and realize what they're doing. The next play is the 66-yard touchdown, and we hit it in stride, and it's a big play. Kind of got us going, which was huge for us to get success really early and have some confidence in that game.
Yeah, for sure. We look forward, obviously, to this week now. You get the Class 5A defending state champs who beat a very good Los Lunas team at home last week. And Roswell's been such a tough opponent for you guys, whether it was a district opponent or non-district opponent. And, again, another team that they're not going to throw anything at you that you haven't seen before. They're obviously going to use their athleticism, and they are, have been one of the toughest teams to beat every year in the state.
They have. I mean, they're defending 5A state champs. I think they've been in the state championship the last 4 or 5 years in 5A. They're well coached. Coach Lynn does a great job, and his staff and all those kids are tough. They got a bunch of them. Very athletic. They kind of embrace their mentality of who Coach Lynn is, and which is cool. But it's a quality football team. They returned 4 or 5 linemen up front. They do have a new quarterback. That's Coach Lynn's son, Luke. And so they're a little different offensively. It's not nearly as much option principles, and they're going to let Luke throw it a lot more, and he's really good at that. And he got a good arm, very accurate. Great big receivers, a couple of little tailbacks that are pretty good. And then Nathaniel Lujan is kind of a scat back, get outside and go, real shifty and quick. Another running back, Joaquin Bolaños, is a big bruiser. He broke one for about 90 last week against Los Lunas. It's a really good football team, and we're going to have our hands full.
And, one thing I will say is, and I was surprised as that game progressed against Deming, you guys had to play the pass a lot last week, which I thought you were probably going to have to play more of the run with what they had done in the past. So, I mean, the secondary certainly got a lot of work last week, and they'll obviously get maybe more work this week, it sounds like.
They do. Deming is kind of having changed things. They're not necessarily as good up front as they have been in the past, so they're trying to take advantage of the kids they have, and they got some good skill kids. And Rawls is doing the same thing with Luke. Luke's not nearly as, I don't want to say mobile or whatever. He's a good athlete that can run and get upfield, get 10, 15 yards, and he had a rushing touchdown last week. But they're going to let him throw it. I mean, he's got a heck of an arm. He's very accurate. He's kind of the leader of that whole thing. We watched him 7-on-7, kind of controlling that entire offense and making it a go. And when that offense gets going, it's hard to stop.
Are there things within your offense you feel like you can take advantage of this week with Roswell? I mean, I know you guys are going to do what you're going to do, but I mean, are there things that you're looking at that you feel like, we've got a chance to move the ball on these guys?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. And there's some things that we did last week that we'll do again this week that I think that we've just gotten better at with more reps at it. We've got a few wrinkles of some concepts that we've already installed and ran in last week, but now we're just twisting it up a little bit. One of the big things that we kind of focus on this year is going into a ton of formations. And last week we got into one, and Deming never adjusted, so we never got out of it. So we kind of just stayed into it. So we will have a couple things that will keep going for us that are kind of unique to this week. But like I said, it's Friday night. It's first game on the new turf. It's first home game of the season. You not just for football. You got cheer out there, band, ROTC, SATs. It's a cool environment. It's a single school town. Everybody needs to come and get excited for Friday night.
And that's the thing, we haven't really talked about it on the air that much, is the field turf, because for one, it was kind of supposed to be a surprise about what it was going to look like when they put the new field turf in and such. And so now that it's down and there's pictures that have been disseminated and all that good stuff, it's something that's a little bit different. I think Lovington has the blue field, Escalante's got a red field. I think that's it.
That's it. Everybody else has got green turf.
Yeah, whoever has field turf. So you guys do something a little bit different. I think KTSM used the term touch of gray, and so it looks nice. And just something a little bit different. I know that was kind of, you said, hey, we got an opportunity to do something different than everybody else.
Yeah, and that's unique to our community, and something that our community can hang their hat on. If you go to Lovington, everybody knows Lovington has blue turf. They've had it for about 20 years now, and their community's proud of it. And this is something that, hey, nobody has gray turf. I think I've only seen one fully gray turf in the entire country, and that's Eastern Michigan, which is a Division I football program. So it's something unique to our community that's our kids are really excited about. Our kids walking by it every day at practice got excited, more excited each day getting to see it. And now they're just antsy to get onto it.
Yeah, and if it's just a little bit cooler than the gray turf, and I mean temperature-wise, than the green turf, that's at least a somewhat of a bonus.
That is a bonus, because one of the guys down there crawling on it was talking about how this is a lot cooler than the green turf, and I'm like, we're all in. Yeah. For anybody that hasn't been down there on a 90 to 100 degree day or hotter, it is brutal. The soccer field's can be the same way over there with the green turf. You had about 20 to 30 degrees to that turf field when it's really scorching. So those are rough days. Those are rough Saturdays.
Yeah. So even if it just helps out a little bit, I think that's good for everybody involved. So yeah, get out there and support the team. Remember, there's only 4 home games this year, so you have one fewer chance to come out and watch these guys in town. So get out there and support them. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Go Tigers.